all need to make smart decisions with our money. The Long-Term Investor podcast shows you how by distilling complex financial matters into easily digestible lessons. And now, here's your host, Chief Investment Officer at PlanCorp and the author of Making Money Simple, Peter Lazaroff.
Welcome to the Long-Term Investor. This is a quick episode this week because I really just have some exciting news to share about my upcoming book, The Perfect Portfolio, due out in the third quarter of 2026. In just a few weeks, I'll be handing in a draft of my manuscript to the publisher Harriman House. And some of you may remember when I published my first book called Making Money Simple back in 2019, I actually had two book ideas floating around in my mind. But at the time, I was helping build out BrightPlan, which for those of you who are not familiar, is a comprehensive solution to support employers in delivering best-in-class financial health and well-being benefits for their employees. And honestly, Making Money Simple just felt like the perfect companion to that project. Plus, anyone who's written a book will tell you it is a huge commitment. And even though I set aside the perfect portfolio at the time, the idea never left me. It lingered, and I think it's grown richer over the years as I let it marinate in my mind. And honestly, now that I'm nearly done with the manuscript, I am so glad I waited because I'm now ready to offer readers something really special. As I've read through the draft of The Perfect Portfolio, it's not just a follow-up, but the goal, and I hope I've really delivered here, is that it's a fresh take on timeless investing lessons combined with some really innovative ideas that I think even seasoned investors haven't encountered before. You might be wondering, I think, why would I be talking about a book that won't be available for at least another 12 months? And here is why. The exciting news that I have to offer you is that if you want an exclusive behind-the-scenes look as I put the finishing touches on this book, head on over to theperfectportfoliobook.com. And when you sign up, you'll immediately get a special series of 3 automated emails over the first 3 days, sharing excerpts and even the full book outline. And then after those first few days, you'll join the list for my regular book updates. And that's going to include subscriber-only invitations to events, early chapter excerpts, giveaways, and special offers. Again, that's theperfectportfoliobook.com. Do not miss out on this early access offer. Real quickly, before we sign off, you might be asking, what's the perfect portfolio all about? Well, without giving away too much or without reading off my entire book, I'd like to think that the book brings together all the elements necessary to construct an investment strategy uniquely tailored to your life. Because I've always said, there's no such thing as the perfect portfolio. There's only the one you can stick with. And so with that in mind, my goal for readers is to understand the principles of successful investing, how history can guide us, how human behavior affects our choices, and how theory informs practical decisions. It is very tempting to go deeper, but instead I'll ask you one last time to visit theperfectportfoliobook.com, where I have the ability to share so much more thoroughly. And again, subscribers will be the first to know about exclusive content, special subscriber-only events, and opportunities to engage directly with me as the launch approaches. One last thing is that if you already subscribe to my newsletter, be aware that this is entirely different. And so if you want book updates, this is the link to go to. I will put it at the top of the episode description. And next week, we'll get back to our regularly scheduled content. As always, I am so appreciative of you listening, of you following along. Thank you so much. And until next time, to long-term investing.
Thanks for listening to the Long-Term Investor podcast. To access free financial resources and submit questions to be answered on the show, visit thelongterminvestor.com. Peter Lazaroff is an employee of PlanCorp and BrightPlan. All opinions expressed by Peter and any podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of PlanCorp or BrightPlan. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions. Clients of PlanCorp and BrightPlan may maintain positions in the securities discussed in this podcast.